So thank you very much, Saket, joining me again for Open Live session. And thanks for completing 42 episodes with me. 42 will complete today only. So without wasting any more time, we'll start the session, and let me just quickly give you the brief about the session, how we are going to conduct, and what are the agendas. So agenda, very simple, very clear. It's not driven by me, it's always driven by you. Whatever questions you have, you can put your questions in the comment box. We are live on Facebook, we are live on LinkedIn, we are live on YouTube. So you can just put your questions in the comment box. I'll include your questions and Saket will answer your questions. Why we are conducting this session? Very simple. We like to support you guys. Whatever you want to ask freely and get the answers immediately. Very transparent process. So, whatever you have, just put your questions. Meanwhile, I have something to discuss with Saket. I'll wait for your questions. The moment I'll get the questions, I'll include. Meanwhile, I'll discuss something with Saket. So, Saket, thank you very much once again joining this. And I want to start this session with the one question, which I think somehow since last couple of weeks I am receiving from different individual, but yeah, similar thing. So people are asking CSM or SSM, Safe Scrum Master or Certified Scrum Master. What are the difference between two? And should I go for CSM? Should I go for SSM?
Perfect. So one thing is that we are about to publish a video on this particular question. The second thing is that we already have a blog explaining this particular thing in a little bit more detailed. So if someone wants to get a little bit more detailed information about our views, the blog is there to help you. Now let's look at this question along with the other question, which I also get. Can I go directly for SAFe certification? Sometimes I have a perception, or people tell me that I should do CSM first and then only should do Safe Scrum Master. Or if not, then is this like, which one is better, as Kumkum was asking. So if you are working in a safe environment, and if you are not yet educated or certified about your role, you are a Scrum Master, your organization is using SAFe, I would advise you to go for Safe Scrum Master program, because it will tell you about your context, the way your organization is operating. It will talk about all the events which are happening in your organization in a safe context. If you are not yet working in a safe context, which means you are working in a small Scrum teams, you don't have an Agile release train, you are not part of Agile release train, which has another 10 teams where they are coordinating, collaborating, and releasing products together. You are more or less individually, as a whole team, as a one Scrum team, you are taking care of delivery, delivering value incrementally, taking customer feedback, refining your backlog, and continuing doing that work, which means you are working in a good Scrum environment. In that case, you want to understand your role, how the whole thing get operated. You better do Scrum Master program from Scrum Alliance, which is a CSM programs. Now, that's the two cases, pretty simple. If you are working as a Scrum Master in a Scrum context, you do CSM. If you are working in a safe context, then you do for Safe Scrum Master as a Scrum Master. Now, what if you are not working as a Scrum Master anywhere? You are just a project manager, or you might be some developer. You want to get into Scrum Master role. Yeah, then again depends upon what you see possible in your organization. If you see there is a possibility of getting into Scrum Master role and your organization is using SAFe, then probably you want to go there. But if your organization is not using SAFe, by default, I would recommend that you go for Scrum Master program, Certified Scrum Master program from Scrum Alliance, because that program also helps you in understanding what is Scrum, what is Agile, and how it usually operates in a typical environment. So if you're making a career transition, you better go for Scrum Master from Scrum Alliance. If you are already working as a Scrum Master, you want to work in a safe environment, you might be already certified as a Scrum Master, and you want to do this particular job in a safe context, but you are not yet getting opportunity, then probably you want to understand what is safe. You already know the Scrum roles, facilitation, and everything else, but you want to know how safe operates and what portion of safe uses Scrum. For that, you can take a leading safe program. Yeah. So in a simple word, not confusing you too much, that if you are seeing safe is getting implemented and you have a clarity about your role, which is going to be a Scrum Master, then only you should go for Safe Scrum Master program. If the Safe is not getting used, then better you go for Scrum Master from Scrum Alliance. In order to know and explore Safe as a framework, better you go for Leading Safe program. So that's something I can share here. Great. Okay, so looks like the festive season is still on, and we have yet to receive our first question, which is a little strange, but yeah, it might be because of we are doing too many other channel interactions as well. Yesterday we had Instagram live, so that might be something there. Yeah. So we got similar question in a way. So I am a Scrum Master certified. Should I pursue SAFe certification? Which SAFe certification is good for me? So first thing is that let me answer, should you pursue SAFe or not? That's the first question. And then we talk about which particular certification you should pursue in SAFe. So if you are working as a Scrum Master and you see going forward, you continue working in a small team context where you are taking care of one Scrum team, they are delivering product on a continuous basis, and you may want to contribute more. Probably you just want to improve your Scrum Master skills. You may not need a SAFe certification. You can continue doing Scrum Master, Advanced Scrum Master, and other coaching and facilitation program because you are working in a small team context. But if you see or aspire to get into the environment where large scale agile implementations are happening, where 10 teams coming together, collaborating, doing joint planning meeting, and delivering software. In general, that is a pretty well established trend. You do see that Scrum Masters operating in that kind of complex and big environment. And in order to know that environment, you probably see the Scaled Agile framework is becoming a popular choice for your current employer or a future employers. So in that case, if you want to remain in a delivery space, you want to do the Scrum Master role in a more complex environment, more challenging space where multiple team alignment is also needed, you probably want to learn Scaled Agile framework. Now, I have used the word learn Scaled Agile framework, not yet about certification. How can you learn Scaled Agile framework? You can start with our set of videos. We have a 50 plus videos. The good starting point would be the 7 essential SAFe videos. So you get a feeling what is SAFe. After getting a feeling of SAFe and you feel, okay, I need to have some credibility in my profile that yes, I am experienced Scrum Master. At the same time, I can take care of SAFe approach as well, SAFe context-based Scrum Master role also. So for that, my recommendation would be, because you are not yet working in SAFe, my recommendation will be leading SAFe program, because you already have a knowledge of Scrum. The SAFe Scrum Master program is talking about the Scrum role inside SAFe, whereas a leading SAFe program is talking about the whole Scale Agile framework. You might already knowing, based on your experience and education, various Scrum ceremonies and how to execute them well. So it will be a little overlap when you go for SAFe Scrum Master program, whereas a leading SAFe program is looked from a management perspective and talks about various important aspects of SAFe. So if you just want to know SAFe, you can start with the videos and the leading SAFe program. If you have already opportunity to work as a Scrum Master in a SAFe context, then probably you can take a SAFe Scrum Master program. So by default, my recommendation for a certified Scrum Masters who wants to get into large scale agile implementation and operate as a Scrum Master in SAFe context, my recommendation would be leading SAFe program, because that helps them in learning about SAFe before they particularly focus on a particular role inside the SAFe environment. And incidentally, leading SAFe is the most popular certificate as well. You see the maximum number of places in the job profiles and all, that certification appears more frequently. You also find people who are SAFe certified. Majority of them are leading SAFe or a SAFe Agilist certified, and that's why my recommendation also goes towards that. If you have any follow-up question, you can post it in the similar way, the way you did right now. Okay, so this was one.
So
And
one more thing I would like to discuss here. So one of our old participant, he is already CSM, ACSM, and CSPSM. Now this person is, trying for the new job, and somehow the potential employer asked for the some safe certification. Okay, so this guy was comparing Safe Scrum Master and Safe Advanced Scrum Master. Then we concluded, okay, Safe Advanced Scrum Master makes more sense for him. But my question is, because the organization is asking, get some safe certification. And as we know, the leading safe is the irrespective of the roles, you can get the all information of safe framework if you're going for the leading safe. In such scenarios, when person is a senior scrum master, already know each and everything about the facilitation and coaching, what is your suggestion?
Perfect. So in general, I think it is more about the branding space. So one is that the Safe Advanced Scrum Master assumes that you have a fair understanding of how Safe operates. But that understanding you can get from watching the videos as well. That's the one thing. At the same time, the Safe Advanced Scrum Master is positioning yourself so that you can take more challenging Scrum Master role, means you might be facilitating multiple Scrum team inside Safe context, and you start approaching to a release train engineer profile at some point in time soon. So Safe Advanced Scrum Master is designed to the people who are in a transitioning towards release train engineer role, from Scrum Master to release train engineer role inside their organization. Now, I need to see, do I want to position myself as a Scrum Master and advancing there, or I want to just understand safe? If you feel comfortable that I know what is safe and I have a basic, actually, you may learn a little bit safe context in the advanced Scrum Master as well, but it will be limited to the Scrum Master role. Basic difference between the curriculum between leading safe and advanced Scrum Master is the management view, including the portfolio layer, which get explained in a leading safe program because it is meant for leaders and managers. Whereas an advanced Scrum Master program, it is still focused on how you work as a Scrum Master, how do you support your release train engineer in a Scrum Master job. Yeah, that's that focus area. But if you want to specifically position yourself for a Scrum Master role, I think Safe Advanced Scrum Master is also a good choice. Yeah, so not that bad. So I want to show that I know Safe, then I do leading Safe. I want to show I already have an understanding of Safe somewhere, and I am advancing my journey in a Safe context. That's a Safe Advanced Scrum Master. By default, recommendation from Scaled Agile is that person should be working in a safe context before they take a Safe Advanced Scrum Master, because it is assuming that you have been knowing the challenges and other things which are happening when you work in a multi-team environment, when you collaborate together and facilitate together. Now we will explain you, teach you how can you overcome those challenges and probably get ready for a second level job in your safe journey. But again, certification sometimes just a branding thing as well. Maybe recruiter is looking for something. My idea is leading safe gives you an opportunity to showcase I am ready for safe, but I may not be doing safe job. I may do something else as well. But Safe Advanced Scrum Master is basically if you are targeting safe oriented role only and you want to show that I am advancing my journey in a safe context, then you do for Safe Advanced Scrum Master. Yeah. So for this case, I think both can work. Yes, there is a good amount of content overlap as well. It depends. The person wants to remain generic or want to be a little more generic is a leading safe, want to be a little more specific to a role, then Safe Advanced Scrum Master.
Makes sense. Thank you very much, Saket, for answering
Perfect.
this. And
Great.
people,
Go ahead.
I
Go
think
ahead.
that recently few people joined. So let me just ask again, guys. If you have any questions, you can drop your questions in the comment box. I'll include your questions, and Saket will answer your question. And with this statement, we got one more question. So yeah, go ahead, Saket.
Great. So I think we have been discussing at various platforms about your queries as well. So its idea is like this. Uh, the question is that I am working in an automotive domain. Can I work as a product owner, keeping in mind I don't have an experience in the IT side of the coding or coding? Now, the answer is yes, definitely yes. Yeah. And the second question comes in, okay, why should someone hire you as a product owner? So can I live with my less knowledge of technology or code and still be valuable? Yeah. If you can, then people will be willing to hire you. But if you are not, then not. Yeah. So what is something unique I am bringing on the table? So let's understand about a typical role of a product owner. Again, each organization use some variant. They may have extension of roles and responsibility. But in general, the idea of product ownership is working to identify what end user really need, helping the users, stakeholders to visualize their requirement, probably think about what matters more, facilitate the prioritization of their requirement, and helping the stakeholder to think in an incremental manner rather than they think everything together. And with the help of that incremental thinking, converting those incremental requirement into executable, deliverable, small component requirements. Yeah, so that's the whole thing. Now, my skill as a product owner is, first I should be able to understand the language of users, language of stakeholders. I should be able to do market research. I should be able to understand the language of competitors. I should be able to understand what the government regulations and other sectors are talking about for my product area. So I should know my market, customer base, and what is really needed. And I should be able to collaborate with the stakeholder to get the prioritization done. The second thing comes in is that how do I split it into a small portion? Now, in my experience, when I work with various agile transformation, there is a struggle here. Many times when people come from great domain knowledge, an organization wants to have them as a product guy. I am not using a label product owner. They want to have them as a product guy, but they struggle because these product guys are finding difficult to convert the big thing into small pieces. We call them user stories sometimes. Yeah, small pieces. User stories are one technique of dividing the work into a small piece. Any technique, any way you want to divide into a small pieces, there could be an opportunity for you to improve your learning. So if you're already good in the product space, market, domain, and that thing, then probably and that itself can also get you a good job if you have a specialization there. But if you want to improve further, you need to find out a mechanism so that you appreciate how things get implemented. You are not necessarily expected to have an experience of coding. Definitely not. Most of the product owners are not specialized in doing coding, but they do have a skill in converting the big thing into a small piece. They can understand the challenges the developers or the development team might face so that they can communicate in such a language so that development team can execute it into incremental manner. So that's the area which you probably want to focus on and learn. Yeah, so that's something I can recommend here. So answer is yes. Look at your profile, find out what is good, and then add it to the remaining areas where things are needs to be improved, and make your learning roadmap. Yeah. Okay, so we have another question. I am experienced person in implementing and maintaining ISO quality management system in various organizations. Now I am maintenance safety management system in a big construction company and planned for PMP certification. Great. Okay, so looks good. Yeah, that's what I can see, because I don't see any question here. If the question is, can I do PMP certification? Definitely yes. Or if you have any specific query, then please post it. Yeah, but this looks good. That's what I can say.
So remaining question is down actually. So
So
Nitin.
I looked at both the things. Yeah, there was
Okay.
no question. Yeah. Okay, so in the meantime, if you post a third thing, you post it. In the meantime, I take care of other questions. Yeah. What books I have to refer for PMP certification apart from PMBOX 6, PMBOX 7? May I know the opening about options about importance and how much duration we need to spend for the preparation? Now, it depends upon where you are taking your PMP education from. For example, in our case, we recommend zero book, no book. Yeah, because you don't have to read anything. Our program content gives all the necessary material which is needed for PMP certification. I know some organization recommends 2 books, 3 books, 4 books, but it depends where you are enrolled to. In our case, nothing. Now, please understand, the PMP exam is not from PMBOX 6, not from PMBOX 7, not from XYZ book. It is from something called PMP exam content outline. So PMI, it's a public document. You can search PMP exam content outline. That exam content outline defines, in a way, syllabus for PMP, which means they will tell that there are people domain, process domain, business domain. They talk about various things a project manager should be aware of when they are dealing with people, when they are dealing with processes, and when they are dealing with the business. So that is something get tested. Now, books may talk about some part of that domain, None of the book covers the whole PMP exam content outline, even PMBOX 6, PMBOX 7, and you may take one or two more book, but you need to master in interpreting the exam content outline. To solve that problem, what PMI has done it, if you get educated from PMI authorized education provider, you get a material, which is kind of a book again, material which is 100% aligned with PMP exam content outline. But that material is not easy to understand. If you just read it, you may not comprehend the whole thing because it is assuming a lot of pre-information in you. So what we do in our classes, we use that material as a reference. We take our online classes around that. And in order to prepare a background knowledge and preparation, we recommend our people to go through some collection of videos. We have around 100 plus hours of video content, which can help them to get foundations ready. And with the foundations ready, they go through a PMP curriculum exam content outline, which makes them get ready for their PMP exam. So that's how we deal with this particular problem. Incidentally, yesterday only I spoke to one of our recent test taker, and she shared her exam experience. That talk is available on our Instagram channel. If people are interested in doing PMP, I do recommend watching that 40-45 minutes of conversation. You can just click Instagram and say 𝐎𝐻𝐸𝐵 official. So 𝐎𝐻𝐸𝐵 official is our handler. You will find that post. I think it's a second post if you go from the top. It was just yesterday's conversation. Okay, so okay, now I get a question, that the one which was coming in the parts. So we can say, yeah, on the how PMP certification helped me in building career at 28 years of experience in this domain. So I have a ISO quality implementation experience. I want to do PMP after 28 years of experience. Is it going to help me? Yeah. So it depends upon what kind of target role you are aspiring to. And if you put that target role in your mind or put into a job search, and if you see the target role, the companies who are publishing those kind of target roles are expecting project management knowledge and PMP certification, then it's right for you. But if you see your target role and you don't see the project management skill competency needed in that target role, then PMP certification is definitely not right for you. Yeah. So one quick check you can do is think about what you want to do next and find out, because see, the point is there cannot be a universal answer. Your profile of 28 years may have a lot of strength, and someone who will give you a next job will not rely on just a certificate which you do in 2-3 months. They will give more weightage to your experience. But this 2-3 months of effort puts you at par with people who are investing in the learning and growing their career. Yeah. So you demonstrate that I am focused on improving my professional skills. I am learning and improving, even though I have lots of experience. And with my ability to learn and experience, I'm here to help your company to grow. So hire me. You can get lots of benefit by hiring me. So that's the kind of statement you want to put. You need to see, is this story really making sense? Or the PMP is looking like an odd thing coming based on what I have done in the last 28 years. In general, I see the PMP certification usually add a lot of value at a middle management level job profiles. Okay, I go further. Okay, we have a question. Any particular exercise or online tutorial for practicing user stories or backlog, etc.? So one of the things you can start with is education. That's a simple thing. You can go for CSPO program. It will give you a briefing about it. Second thing is, many times I get connected by the people where the recruiters give them an exercise to write user stories, and they give them, okay, go for a banking website, go for Amazon.com, go for, say, a travel domain, Make My Trip or ICICI, and make 20 user stories for that particular thing. So depending upon which area you work in, you may take some established product and try to do reverse engineering. You see something really working and try to convert them into a user stories. and work with some of the like-minded people. Usually you get that by when you do CSPO program or something, you end up getting in a group, and mostly these groups will support you, like we support our clients, and share your experience, your examples in the form of user stories, and that can help you in improving. That's a one way of doing. Second, whenever you struggle, go to mentoring platforms. Maybe a social media may not be that great platform, where you take some advices from people who have been doing it. You show that this is what I am doing, here the things are, and that can help you in moving forward. Yeah. So understanding user personas, understanding how do you see the whole user journey, understanding how do you visualize the interaction between user and the system, and probably you can convert that into a small incremental pieces based on your domain. And since you are coming in the automobile space, you may not necessarily 100% work with the user story. You may have a different way of capturing and communicating the requirements as well, other than user stories, because user stories are more focused on user-based interaction, user-centric requirement. You may have a non-user-centric requirement also, like compliance and all, which might be need to be handled differently, and that's what you probably need to experiment. Okay. Okay, thank you for participation. Okay, so I have been working as a Scrum Master. The question is coming, non-technical. My PO expects more from me in agile ways. Now we need to identify what is that more. Yeah, and it is good to always up your scale. I think you should take that as an opportunity. So if the product owner is expecting more contribution in a product discovery space, I think it's a great opportunity. Yeah, I see many future jobs where the recruiters, I'm not talking about Scrum guides, recruiters are expecting more and more skills in capturing user need, converting user needs into user story, or helping the product owner in doing so from the Scrum Master. Yeah, so if your product owner is expecting some more support in the product discovery space, I think that's a good opportunity. And if you have something challenging, then you let me know. But as we suggested before, as a learning, I think it's a good thing. You can do CSPO program to get a fundamental of product ownership jobs right, and then probably you can move forward. Yeah. We are using tool in a GitHubs. What are all the main things in that template as a Scrum Master look for in the tool? Not clear about your question. Yeah, and I am not a GitHub expert. That's another thing. That's why I probably unable to understand your question as well. If you can reword it in a little way where I can relate to, probably I can share my idea. Okay. Now we have another question. Question is not complete. You are just sharing that you have a 10 years of experience in non-IT background in a management role. Okay. Is it good for me to go as a Scrum Master? So see, my view of looking at, my way of looking at this thing is the Scrum Master is also a leadership role. It's a management leadership role, facilitation role. It's a way of leadership which helps you in creating self-organizing, collaborating team, which delivers the desired value for the end customers. That's the role of a Scrum Master. So can you create a team which performs and meets stakeholder expectation and also enjoy what they are doing? That's the role of a Scrum Master. Now, you do it in a context where Scrum is used. That's the leadership job you are playing. If you are doing in a non-Scrum environment, still good percentage of work may overlap. The Scrum Master role will be having little additional responsibility of using Scrum as a tool. So you apply leadership by using Scrum. You use Scrum as a benchmark or your tool or your North Star, which helps you in delivering things. So you can learn Scrum well so that you can apply your facilitation and leadership skills in a context where Scrum is used, and then definitely you can work as a Scrum Master. Now, is it good? It's a leadership role. If someone is doing leadership in a Scrum context, they also improve their other leadership skills. Tomorrow, if you are not using Scrum, your leadership, coaching, mentoring skills will be useful for any delivery context. Yeah. Okay. Now, what the Scrum Master do when the team remote and always silent in the meeting? This is becoming a real challenge nowadays. And it is not only for Scrum Master, any leader. Yeah, definitely the Scrum Master is expected to facilitate. You may be asking this. So it's all about, we need to figure it out, what kind of working agreement we have, how do we work together with each other. We may not have revisited our working agreement since we went virtual, but my advice would be that have a special meeting to have these working agreement revisited. Yeah. So that you know when is expected to be, like when someone can remain silent and when they need to be contributing. And then have some mechanism where you reflect on month in the form of retrospective how our working agreements are working. The another thing is you can put this question in the retrospective meeting that guys, you remain silent. It may happen that even when you put this question, the still people remain the silent. But yeah, that's a good place also to start getting some traction. And I believe this thing also impacts the people who are working. I may spend more time in doing something which if I would have collaborated well, or if someone has collaborated well, I could have done it with ease. So everyone who cares for delivery suffers when there is a lack of collaboration. It's not only the Scrum Master alone suffering. Whoever wants to do good work, less error thing, good quality, get some satisfaction out of their work, will suffer when the person sees everybody else or good number of people are becoming little disengaged in their work. So we need to take care of this problem. As we have a disengagement, how can we bring back engagement? And again, your solution will be yours, but you need to work on, rather than a problem of a mute, you need to work on a problem of handling the engagement of your team members. Looks like the engagement is becoming a challenge here. Okay, another question. I did PMP and worked for 2 years in technical PM role for hardware refresher or a add hardware project. Last 7 years, I am a part of management role in a typical enterprise supporting. Okay, then can you guide me on my skills to back in a PM roles? Now current job market has a lot of jobs available related to budgeting and software projects and agile methodology, scalable agile as well. Okay, so as you, I see answer in your question. Yeah, maybe I might be reading too much, but looks like you already know what you have to do. So you know where the jobs are, you know what kind of skills are getting asked in the jobs. You just need to show that you have those skills. So you have some experience, you have a project management experience, you have a technical experience, maybe more in a hardware space, but you know that there is a software and process oriented roles, and many organizations are needing leaders. I'm using the word leader, scrum master / project manager, where there is a part of the work is hardware and part of the work is software. Especially if you look for scaled agile kind of places, the scaled agile customer base is something where they are using big systems, the embedded systems, the device based systems, the healthcare based systems, where there is a part which is in a hardware, there's a part which is in a firmware, and there's a part which is in a software. So it gives an opportunity for people like you to get into the leadership role in such kind of context. So as you pointed out, learning agile is a good idea. Learning those case studies where hardware software is getting used, I believe you should target those companies where hardware software is used as a one team rather than pure software. Probably you may not be bringing advantage or unique offering for pure software companies which are just working on websites. Yeah. So look for the organizations which are like device, healthcare oriented. A lot of organizations are there, automobile companies, and many of them are safe customer, scaled agile framework customer. You can do a little research. So learning agile, learning scaled agile, and positioning yourself where you can facilitate hardware and software may be useful thing for you. Okay, I have an experience in non-IT, more than 9 years in oil and gas, how this helps me in Scrum Master. So again, the Scrum Master is a leadership role. irrespective of the domain. Are you leading team? Are you resolving conflicts? Are you facilitating decision making? Are you coaching them, mentoring them, helping them to improve their technical and like soft skills? You are doing 50% of a Scrum Master job. But if you are an individual contributor, you analyze the data, you feed the data into the system works or doesn't work, you not necessarily interact with many people, the work comes to you, you do your job, then you have a lot of things to learn in order to get into a Scrum Master job because it's a leadership job. So my recommendation is, if the Scrum Master is an area of interest for you, learn the role of a leader in a Scrum context, which is a Scrum Master. It's a combination of leadership and Scrum. Yeah? And see what is common in your current role, because building 100% new career will require more effort, but building 50% new career may not require that much effort. You can say, oh, I have been doing people management job, it's just about Scrum thing, I need to figure it out. Then it's relatively less effort. But if you have to do from zero, then it might be a little big effort. So go for Scrum Master class, Certified Scrum Master from Scrum Alliance, so you understand that and see that, okay, this is where I am, this is what is needed. Find out your roadmap. Your real learning may start after the Scrum Master class. Start looking at various interview questions and learn from them, and that can help you in establishing yourself as a Scrum Master. Yeah. Okay, what is a roadmap with timeline in Agile? Do we need to plan upfront and update every sprint? You can do without it, you can do with it. Yeah. So see, as you see, each project work in a different style. Even if you call it a waterfall project, each waterfall project will have unique phases, unique interaction mechanism, unique delivery cycles. It requires a specific treatment. We can't say that all waterfall project runs for 1 year or all waterfall projects work without planning or with planning. Some waterfall projects get extensive replanning as we go along. So similarly, all agile projects or agile way of deliveries are not same. Yeah. Some agile ways of delivering works in a short duration environment where they say, okay, let's not plan anything for long term. Let's do things as it goes. It might be possible in two contexts. First, we may not be clear about our whole idea itself. We are doing some experiments before we can say this is what we want to do. Then we don't want to do a long-term planning. Or we have a stable product. We want to keep improving and stabilizing it without doing much long-term planning. So in these two contexts, you may not need a long-term planning. But there are contexts, especially you are taking care of a whole product. You may want to have multiple releases over next 5 years. You need to communicate your stakeholders, marketing teams and all. Then you may need to do a forecast in the form of a roadmap. Again, the forecast, you need to share the uncertainty attached with that forecast, maybe a 30% variance, 50% variance, depending upon how stable your requirements, your team and understanding is. That particular thing may vary. And as you said, as we learn, maybe a sprint or whatever learning cycle you are seeing, as we learn, we update our roadmap. We achieve what we have achieved, and based on our learning, we update how things are going to happen in future. So yes, that's a great way. So you shared something which is practiced. Okay. Okay, so I need to get full knowledge on Jira Cloud, story mapping, board changes, JQLs, and which book can help me. So there are a lot of free videos available from Atlassians. We are Atlassian partner as well. From our channel also, you can get around 10 videos, which gives you a basic understanding of Jira. You might have already learned that you can get a free account up to 10 users, lifetime free, which can help you in playing with Jira. And many of these things you can plan and do with that particular free account as well. So start there. In case you want to have an assistance in your learning process, we also run a Jira class, which can help you in figuring out all the things which you have listed. And that can give you a little quick start. But at the same time, we also have free videos, and Atlassian has good documentation and videos to help you out. I'm not aware if there is a book to do so, because these things are very dynamic in nature. Even if you have a book, it might be obsolete because such kind of tools changes pretty frequently. Yeah. So better focus on videos and documentation and experimentation rather than a book. Okay, so I probably try to understand your question and then see that, yeah. Okay, so I have started Jira software and Scrum interview videos. Great, great. That's the whole thing. Great. So what I'm seeing here is that our team is new to this application. We are using GitHub tool for agile practices. Our Scrum Master tells that what are all the things that can be used in this tool. For instance, Jira has charts like that, Kanban board, sprint board, so that in the most necessary fields of the board, we have engineers or to create template as a Scrum Master requirement. Okay, so very less idea about how the GitHub is getting used in the Scrum context. Probably you need to do your exploration. Not that much expert in answering this question. Okay, how to take practical experience Scrum working if you have all theoretical experience. Yeah, that's the thing. So you do by doing it. Yeah, that's the whole thing. You need to practice it. Now, assuming if I don't get opportunity to practice, what is the second alternative? You probably need to work in some groups where they can help you in practicing it. And for that, we run a program called Industry Enabled Scrum Master Program, where we help you in learning how Scrum probably get used in the generic typical professional context. And that program also helps you in becoming a part of the group where people talk about their day-to-day problem, their day-to-day interview challenges, which helps you in getting some practical insights about how the Scrum Master thing work. Yeah, so that's the one thing you can do. And I am always a believer that yes, we can learn from our experience, but at the same time we can learn from others' experience also, provided we are keeping our senses open. Yeah. So sometimes when I am not getting an opportunity to have my own experience, I rely on what people are facing. Now, how do I get somebody else's experience? That is something I need to figure that out. Say, probably I start becoming a part of groups, like you can become it with the help of IESM program as well, or some social media channel where Scrum Masters are sharing their problems, and you learn, you just observe what kind of problem and solutions are getting discussed. Yeah. And then I improve and try to crack that someone start giving me at least part of Scrum Master role so that I get ready for my future profile. So do I need a certification in Scaled Agile? That's the question coming in. So we spoke about that. Yeah, so answer is it's usually useful. Yeah, because a good number of organizations are getting into high scale based Agile implementation. Yeah, that's something is happening. So if that is the case, probably you want to do a Scaled Agile certification. I'm certified as a Scrum Master. Yeah, already working in SAFe and trying to move my career as Scrum Master / product owner. Which certification is best to start for SAFe? The one role which you want to take. If you want to focus on Scrum Master role, do SAFe Scrum Master or a SAFe Advanced Scrum Master. I see you are already certified. So we were doing that discussion in the beginning. If you are already having Scrum knowledge, you are certified Scrum Master or professional Scrum Master, you are working in a SAFe context, and you want to stick to Scrum Master role, that's the thing, then I recommend you take SAFe Advanced Scrum Master program. Yeah. If you want to branch into product owner role, then I recommend you to take SAFe Product Owner program. Again, since you are already working in SAFe, because we spoke about it some time before, so this is a special case, and that's why I am recommending SAFe Advanced Scrum Master or the Product Owner. Okay, so which one I need to do in the case of SAFe? Again, this is something we started with, but I clarify again. In general, if you are not yet working in SAFe, you are working as a Scrum Master or you are learning Scrum, you are learning Scrum and the industry enabled program or a Jira, or you are getting ready for your Scrum role, then I recommend you also learn about how SAFe operates. And I'm assuming you already have a management experience. You are not coming from pure development background. If you have a management experience, you are learning Scrum, you want to also understand how SAFe operates, The recommended program for you will be Leading Safe program. It's the most popular SAFe certification. It is designed for those people who are not yet using SAFe, but who wants to understand SAFe in totality. So do go for Leading Safe program. That will be good add-on for your profile. Okay, so great. Yeah, this is what we explored here. Okay, so we have a spammers also here. That's good. So, good. So here we are approaching our close time. I just wanted to share that we also started doing our Instagram live sessions. The difference between Instagram live and this program is, in the case of Instagram live, you can come inside the session. You can join, you can speak, probably share your video or just talk in the audio format. So that's the things. Yeah, that's the whole idea there. Okay, so Pooja, I thought it was not a question, it was a comment. That's why I have not touched your question. Yeah. So, okay, let me read it. Oh, I see that last part was a question. If any question I'm missing, please post it again. It might be something here and there. And can I call for the same? So, Arshad, you can connect with our team. Yeah, you can just visit 𝐻𝐸𝐿. Someone will support you in the chat, and then they can talk in the phone call as well. They will be happy to take care of it. Okay, so seems like Scrum Master role is competitive now. Hundreds of applications for one positions. How can I stand out? I would say that that's a good question. That's something one has to think. And for all the roles, this problem may exist. Now, what is your experience? What is your differentiator? And how that thing helps the target organization? That is something I need to figure out. Yeah. One of the thing is I show more learning attitude. And that's why many people end up doing certification program. I'm not recommending 10 plus certification, but at least 2-3 certification is a good way of showing and demonstrating I am doing. The second thing is I do more overlapping things. So say typically Scrum Master is expected to do this, but I build skills which are this much. Maybe now what overlap I choose? I need to choose which can fit in my current profile. So I do something more so that I can also demonstrate experience of that overlapping thing rather than only talking about it in a profile. Now, I see many organizations, many people overlapping towards product domain area, supporting user stories, exploration, helping the product owner to discover things. That's a good overlap. If you extend in that area, you create a unique configuration or proposition in your profile. Some people may start focusing on little more technical space. They get into the configurations, automations, and that part of it. Probably if that's an interest area for you, you may want to branch out in that direction. Many people who are working in a service organization where they are working for client A, client B, client C, and Scrum Masters, and they keep giving Scrum Master interview to various clients, they may want to venture into a project management kind of roles and responsibility. So my advice is see your current competencies, see which competencies are not developed yet. Maybe they are not core competencies of Scrum Masters, but you see the opportunity of having those competencies practiced in your current job profile, and you see those things are also asked in your future job profile, like user stories, project management, budgeting, stakeholder management, leadership, communication, all these kind of stuff, and then you put that things together. Yeah, that's something you can create a better profile for you for your job search. And as per these extensions and branchings, you may want to pick up some certification and learning program. So for example, if you're branching into product ownership, you may want to do CSPO certificate. If you're branching into project management space, you may want to do PMP certification. If you want to branching into coaching space, you want to do Agile coaching, IC Agile coaching program, and then build those particular competencies and skills. Yeah. So it's a never-ending job. Yeah, you continue. Great, Pankaj. Good to see you here. Yeah. Hi. Thank you. Thank you for your wishes. Great. Okay. What the Scrum Master do when the team has 3 members of back and 2 members of front end, and the work is not balanced for the team and they don't want to build a T shape? Talk to them. Yeah, the whole thing. I know it's not that easy. It's not that easy. They may not have a motivation for that. They may have their own reasons for doing or not doing it. So what I believe is we need to understand what they get by not changing from a current way of working, what advantage as an individual they get, and what disadvantages they are getting as an individual. Forget about company to start with, by not becoming a T-shaped professional. So in a simple way, my way of looking, and again, this is a very generic thing, you know far better than me because you are working with those people. But if I have to deal with people, I usually look at what are their pains and gains for a current behavior. So what they are getting by doing what they are doing and what they are missing by doing what they are doing. Now, if I many times those pains, those missing thing may not be visible to the person. The person is very known that okay, I'm getting by doing what I'm doing. Probably I don't have to learn, I'm comfortable, etc., etc. But I may not be aware of what potential I'm missing because of what I'm doing. Yeah. So my role as a coach, mentor, scrum master, project manager, whatever label I have, is to show that. Yeah. Not everybody will be motivated to do that, but there will be maybe 1 or 2 who may want to overcome that area and want to grow for their own career and professional life, not for the project team. What mistake I have done before, to tell them what benefit the organization will get. In my experience, less people care for that. They only care, them rather than saying only, they care more what I get by doing something what I am doing. So if I see the cross functioning or knowing more skill as a career booster for me, I will do it. If I see cross functioning as a disadvantage for me, I may lose my specialized skill, then I won't do it. Yeah. Sometimes I just need to show them what is good for their future path. So that much I can say. And again, there could be a competency issues also. Here we are assuming they are competent. The problem is only attitude, but there could be in some technology, there could be a competency also which requires time to build. And that could be the reason sometime which demotivate people to try something new. Yeah. Okay, so I hope I am not missing any question. The GitHub one, I was unable to understand and answer. That's the one thing. But other than that, if I'm missing something, please paste it here. I will be happy to answer that. And as we have shared in the post, the email IDs and the URLs, you can reach there. You can get live chat support, as well as there is a WhatsApp which can be used there. Yeah. Could you please share the thoughts on evidence-based management? A nice name. I studied about it, the scrum.org book at some point in time about evidence-based management. As a term, I'm not very familiar with it now. Yes, I studied once, but since we are not running any program or anything around that, so less idea. Yeah, but I think I have read some book from 𝐎𝐩𝐞𝐧 talking about evidence-based management, but can't recall the whole concept right now. Okay, yeah. So I remind again, so we have an Instagram channel as well. So you can just search 𝐎𝐩𝐞𝐧 Official. And people who are pursuing PMP certification, I recommend them to check the talk which we had yesterday around PMP. We had one of our participants, she did PMP last week only, sharing her experience. So that's a good, interesting conversation which you may want to check. And another thing is, if you follow that particular page, you come to know about our Instagram lives as well. And there you can come and speak about your experience as well, rather than just asking question. If you want to specifically share something, drop us an email. We can probably invite you as a guest and create some space for you to talk about your journey, your thing. which will help others. The whole idea here is that you share your journey, which influence people to take that path. For example, today we were getting question, oh, so many people are applying for Scrum Master job. How do I survive here, or how do I make a crack here? But if someone has done that recently, you may want to share, oh, this is how I have done it. I know, yeah, there were many people around here and there, but I could grow my career by using these strategies. So if you have something, some story to inspire others, yeah, please do connect with us. We would be happy to invite you on our Instagram live. Good place to close, I guess.
Okay, fine. I think we have discussed so many things today. Very insightful session. Thank you very much, Saket. And thank you very much, audience, for asking such a wonderful questions and making these sessions interactive for and knowledgeable for others also. And those who were unwell due to Diwali, this recording will be there. So you can watch the recording. And yes, I think we have something else recently. Saket, would you like
So
to answer?
again, the openness again, as I said, as you know your team far better. That's the whole thing. But usually the openness is a function of how comfortable I am with other people. So how much I trust them. Now again, trust is a very heavy word. I usually try to not use that very frequently. But if I know someone, I will be little open with them. Now I need to see how can I create more connection between people so that they start opening up. It may become a difficult job when people are working virtually, so you need to do a lot of effort, far more effort than people working face to face. But we need to engage so that people start knowing each other's personality, how different individual process information, what is good thing to share, what is not so good thing to share, and that creates overall openness. But it's a team development direction. It's not necessarily happens from the day one. There are few individuals who are more comfortable being open. There will be few who will take more time, but yeah, you can do best is engage, yeah, engage people. Probably. Great. So thank you everyone for being a good interactive audience here. And yeah, I invite you again, as Kumkum also said, to our upcoming sessions as well as to our Instagram lives. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, do join us. We'll be live again on this open hour session on second Friday of second week of Friday of November month, and then fourth Friday. So that's the frequency. Sometime we change due to Saket's travel or my travel. So some changes sometimes happen, but normally we are committed with 2 Fridays in a month, and we are committed with the open session, the live session on Insta. So do join there. And I'm thinking, I think you all can join and we all can discuss about the, how we can make the virtual working more impactful and more nice for our team. So I really want to continue this topic. Definitely, I'll invite you and do share your stories. That would be really fun. So bye for now, and we'll catch up again on second Friday, November. Let me just quickly give you the date also. I'm just checking here in my calendar. So it's 11th of November. So we'll be back on 11th of November. Bye for now. Take care of yourself.